One of the most important communication skills to have today is to be able to speak in English fluently. And not just any English, but English that works today in 2026, that makes you sound smart and updated and not outdated. Unfortunately, most of us for whom English is not the native language, it is the second or the third language, we learn English in a very academic manner. And it does not help us to speak fluently. So, Shakespeare needs to disappear. Romantic era poetry does not work with the HR policy. So in this video, I'm going to talk about 5 ways you can learn to speak English in a modern, current, contextual manner that is not going to make you sound too academic or outdated. Before we get going, you might want to subscribe to this channel. My name is Rai. I'm a former media presenter and director. And on this channel, I put together all those things that help us speak more confidently and help us polish our own personal brand. Number 1, online courses and apps. Now, I have actually been an instructor of communicative English as in a proper school. I've also tried to learn Spanish through Duolingo. So we've tried out the apps, we've tried out the courses. I've also checked into a lot of YouTube channels that teach English. After months of trying out Duolingo, what I found is that I barely had the knowledge of 50 sentences at best. And those sentences were also pretty redundant. It was all about oranges and apples and taxis. Also, let me know if you have tried Duolingo and how your experience has been. It can work as something you do as a supplement, but apps and courses can never be the main thing you pick up a language from. Moving on to spot number 4. At number 4, we have a method of learning English that is going to be very enjoyable because it involves dialogues. For example, you can watch podcasts, you can watch serials, TV series. Today, it's not just regular TV, but OTT platforms. So they help us form sentences that are actually useful. And side by side, they also introduce us to names, places, cultural contexts, and lifestyle nuances. However, I would recommend you watch shows that are already in English to begin with and not watch a dubbed version. I tried making my daughter watch Kung Fu Panda in the Hindi dubbed version to pick up some Hindi, and what I found was they had to squeeze in a lot of Hindi words, I guess, and it was too fast and too hard to follow for a beginner. It would be more beneficial for you to pick up a show that is originally in English. If you're liking the content so far, please give it a like and subscribe and let me know which TV shows would you recommend everybody watching this video. Moving on to point number 3. The next thing you can do to learn English fast, confidently, and in a modern colloquial manner is to also learn it from monologues, which means one person talking as opposed to dialogues. It can be found in news channels, it can be found in stand-up comedy, and it can be found in YouTube channels covering various topics like science and history. Now, the advantage with this is that they usually include medical or science terms or news terms or names and places that you're already familiar with. It's almost like you already know the content, so it's easy for you to consume. And you also end up being a more aware and knowledgeable person. It's like a win-win situation. Watching monologues actually got me a job. I had started my day really early that day, and by the time I'd gone for that interview, I was dead tired. I could almost sleep standing. And the interviewer sort of understood that, and he told me, "You look so tired, you almost look disinterested in the job, so I'm not sure about this." So I thought I would not get the job. But while walking out of the door, he casually asked me, "So what are you going to do when you go home? Sleep?" I said, "Yeah, but probably I would watch some TV before that." He asked me, "What are you going to watch on TV?" And I said, "I'm going to watch some late night talk shows, the ones with monologues." I think I named a lot of names like Ellen DeGeneres, Jimmy Kimmel. I even named Oprah. And he loved that answer. And the next thing he said, "All right, I want you to fly down to meet our board of directors." So monologues saved the day. So that's why I would recommend you to watch monologues in order to pick up more English and be more worldly wise. We are getting closer to the number 1 position. You might want to subscribe to the channel before that. And at number 2, sitting pretty, is one of the easiest and most enjoyable ways and most stress-free ways to learn English. And that is to watch tutorials on YouTube. Simple things like cooking tutorials, craft tutorials, DIYs, and even simple unboxing videos. No big words, simple sentences, just opening things, doing things. And the best part is whatever they are saying, they're doing it, so you instantly get the translation, the demo right in front of you. And usually these tutorials will use a lot of repetitive words, very practical words, like a lot of repetitive verbs like lift, drop, open, close, very common adjectives, colors. So you get all the beginner's words and all the beginner sentences in these tutorial videos. The great thing about this method is that not only it is very simple, you can pick and choose something you're actually interested in and maybe even learn and implement in your real life. I hope these tips are actually helping you, and if they are, please do like and subscribe. And now I'm going to tell you, at the number one spot of learning English in a fun and fluent manner is something I have personally done in my life and gotten a lot of benefit from. And that is from listening to radio and listening to music. Lots and lots of music. While all the different things I enlisted so far is extremely helpful, they don't help you memorize as much as music does. Once a song gets into your head, that line is sealed in your brain forever. You will never forget those sequence of words. It helps you with two very important things, pronunciation and grammar. Because you're memorizing the sentences, the grammar is getting almost sealed, hardwired into your brain. You don't get confused with tenses anymore, and the repetitive manner of listening to music itself is such a systematic and helpful process to learn a language. I remember when I studied in a CBSE board school, we had a music class. And the job of this music teacher was to teach us songs in all the different languages of India. So one time we learned a Rajasthani song. It was like, Ayo ayo teej tohar, Ram siya anganiye, something like that. See, I don't know any Rajasthani at all, but I remember this by heart. From decades and decades ago, I haven't forgotten. We also learned this Nepali song. Man ko kuralai bandhi na rakha, gat pari jala, chatt sunai deo, chatt sunai deo. I don't know any Nepali, but I know this. I know this as good as a native. And I would never forget the sequence of these words. Sorry about the singing, but I really do hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, please do like and subscribe. This is a new channel and I would love you to be a subscriber of this channel. Let me know where you're watching from. I have no idea where people are watching me from. So on that note, I'm going to sign out of this video, but I hope to see you in the next one as a subscriber.